Everyone should know my name. Everyone knows my name. I'm Kyle Lowry. This should not take long. Brandon Chin. Hey, congratulate y'all. Congratulate Brandon with his raise. He got a raise too, so he got a little bit more money. Why you turning red, man? Why? He got a new job, so you guys can get him a little, and he make it more. Yeah, good job. Congratulations, Brandon. Everybody give him a hand. All right. Tom, that's the greatest back there. That's the GOAT right there.
Kyle
Lowry.
Yes.
Yes.
Your new job. How did that come together? How exactly is that going to work? Balancing your broadcasting with playing and
You said putting?
playing.
I
With,
thought you said putting. My bad. Still in golf mode. My bad. It came about. I think the Amazon team. Shout out to Amazon. I think they're looking for a new way to teach the game, and it just shows the ability that a current player can do both, and not just play basketball. Draymond Green was one of the first to start doing this, and some guys, I know C.J. McCollum has done this before, and I think it came about. It just they wanted to get me, I guess, and I wanted to work with them, and it won't be a hard balance this year. So I won't be in studio this year. I'll still be working on my full-time job, and that's helping lead the Sixers to new heights again. And but I'm looking forward to sharing the game and sharing my knowledge of the game and how I see the game from the future of Amazon Prime, and being a part of the ground up team. I'm looking forward to that.
Kyle, pretty straightforward question. Year 20.
Yep.
What keeps you motivated to keep doing this? Other than you love basketball, right? But to get up, lift weights, practice, do the whole thing every single day for another year.
I think you said it, right? I love the game of basketball, and I have had the ability to play professional basketball for 20 years. And basketball my whole life, right? And you dream of playing basketball, and you wake up every day. You should still be motivated to play basketball, to enjoy your job. And I have some unbelievable teammates in Tyrese Maxey, Jared McCain, Joel Embiid, Paul. I can go on and on and on, and I look forward to seeing them every day, and looking forward to sharing my knowledge with the younger guys and keep them learning and keep evolving them in their game and their lives and helping them as best I can. That's my motivation. I just want to continue to give what I've learned and what I've done, for the rest of, all I can. Hey, Reggie, ready? All right. Villanova's finest right there.
hey, Kyle.
Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, I got y'all Chick-fil-A. Yeah, okay. Brandon, you got them Chick-fil-A? That's what you did with your raise? Okay. Okay.
Kyle, first of all, man, you just mentioned.
Hold on, he didn't get no cheese, huh? He cheaped out on the cheese, 39 cents. A little cheap on the cheese sometimes. Okay.
Oh, true.
He said true.
Yeah, look, you just mentioned a couple of those youngsters. I think you mentioned Jared and obviously VJ, which I saw up here. I mean, like, when you see these young group of guys, you just mentioned 20 years, you want to see these guys grow, I guess. What stands out to you the most, about this young group you're about to kind of look at this year?
I look at Tyrese as a young guy also. I just think they have this, we have really good young guys, and they have this just open and happiness and this spirit that's just like pureness, right? They love basketball. They want to work. They get in the gym early. They listen to the coaches. They listen to the small advices I give to them. Even a guy like Bona. Like Bona, look what he just did. Silver medal for Turkey, in Eurobasket. That was an unbelievable experience for him. And these guys are just, they're looking forward to how to get better. A guy like Trendon Watford, he's bounced around a little bit, but now he's trying to figure out, he's starting to find his niche. Like, these guys really want to play basketball, and they love the game of basketball, and they want to win at a high level, and get an opportunity to get paid for doing their job.
Kyle over here. What's up?
What's up?
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
I mean, you've obviously been so complimentary of Tyrese since you guys became teammates, but it sounds like he's been sort of one of the primary people sort of organizing workouts, whether it's here or even in like Dallas or LA. Just how have you seen him continue to take those leadership steps just, even this offseason?
Yeah, I think he's at that point. His maturation is getting there. I think he's starting to realize how good of a basketball player he's always known it, but like how good of a basketball player he is, but also how good of a leader he is. And once you start to put those two together, it takes you to a different level of your believing in your self abilities. He's you guys know him. He smiles all day. He's laughing all day. He's always happy. He's competitive as heck, right? And he wants to win. But bringing everybody together is an innate ability that he's starting to figure out that he has. Because he's really good at basketball, but he's also a really good person. So he can do that, and everyone respects him.
Kyle, have you? Knowing you started your journey at Doherty and obviously, Villanova and, played so many years for Toronto and,
Yep.
You're here. Have you had a chance to kind of reflect on what basketball has meant to you, or is this kind of like, a thing where you're just taking this year for what it is?
Day by day, just living the moment. You live in this moment. Because you don't know when it's going to be done. You don't know when it's going to be taken from you. You don't know when it's not going to be here anymore. So you just got to enjoy it. I've been playing basketball professionally for 20 years. I've been playing basketball damn near my whole life. And I just live every single day for it. And, whatever the future holds for me, whenever the future is, and whenever I get that chance, I'll look back and reflect on it.
Kyle, the hip injury for you was an issue throughout last year.
Yep.
Where is that at right now?
I feel great. I feel really good. I think me being able to just be on the court to help these guys as best I can. But I know my role this year. So if I'm needed, I'll be there. But, my role is to help these guys. I would love to play whatever 25, 30 minutes, but that's not my role. That's not my job. And, as a competitor, I understand, my job is to help these guys and this team, whatever capacity it takes, and that's what it is. So to answer your question, my hip feels great, and I'm looking forward to the start of camp tomorrow.
Kyle, last year I think everyone agreed didn't go as planned. I guess what can be done this year? Looking back on last year, what can be done that you guys can do differently? And
Yeah.
do you feel any difference so far as you guys kind of get together?
I think you look at last year, you learn from it, right? Life is lessons, right? And last year was a lesson for our team, our organization, and I think where we are right now is I think their spirit's a lot better. Unfortunate injuries last year hurt us to start, but I just think our overall spirit, where I think we're ready to, embrace each other all the way, right? This is Paul's second year here. I think everything he went through last year with his early knee injury changing, coming from LA to here, everything changed for him. I think him and Joel being on the same page, him and Tyrese on the same page. I think a year always, the experience helps always.
Kyle, obviously they're bringing back the 2001
Yep.
team uniforms this season, and as a Philly native, you were very young during those seasons.
I wasn't that young, but all right.
Fair enough. Fair
I
enough.
wasn't that young, but hey, man, thanks, I appreciate it.
No problem. I guess what is that like for you donning that uniform that maybe you have some pretty fond memories of?
Man, I'm glad I'm able to be a part of that. I mean, I said it earlier. I wish they was still the cutoff and a little bit more shiny and all that. But it's just the fact that year, 25 years ago, Iverson and Deke, God rest his soul, Aaron McKee, E. Snow, Kevin Ollie, Jermaine Jones, my guy could go on and on, because I know the team. But just being able to have that, that be our city jersey is pretty cool this year. My 20th year, that 25th year, it's just pretty cool for me personally. And I think, the city is going to really be excited for it. We should bring back hip hop for a couple games. So, yeah, we're excited for it, though. I think it's great for the city.
Kyle, you talked about your love of basketball, 20 years, obviously incredibly impressive. It's one thing to love the NBA lifestyle. It's another thing to love basketball, to love the game. And then it's another thing to love the game to the level that you have and commit your life to it. How do you kind of instill to that next generation, the guys like VJ, what you have to do to be able to accomplish that love for 20 years?
I think it's some words, but a lot of it's showing, right? Making sure that I continue to be on time, be early, lift weights, do extra cardio, get shots up, have a conversation with them, watch the film, show them that it's not just God-given, it's some God-given talent, but it takes hard work to be able to play this long or to even stay in the NBA. The NBA is not, it's not given. Every single year there's 60 new guys drafted. And somebody's trying to take your job. At the end of the day, it's still a job, so you got to put the extra work in. That was a great press. Anybody else? Oh, come on, Keith. Oh, come on, man.
Look, I gotta ask you.
Y'all got your Chick-fil-A. I'm trying to go eat, bro.
Well, yeah, but you ain't gonna eat Chick-fil-A.
No, you're right. I ain't. Nah, you're right.
But I just ask you this question. You know, we talk about the mentorship, right? And typically when you look over your career, we're talking about 6-time All-Star, Olympic gold medalist. You won an NBA title. You know, sometimes guys get competitive to where it's like, look, I'm not trying to be a mentor. I'm trying to play. Where did that come from? Because I'm pretty sure that can be a tough transition at times.
I think I've always wanted to. I always wanted. All I care about is winning, and I think that's even from high school. Like from a kid, I just wanted to care about winning. Right. All the accolades I've done, that's in the past. I look back at it when it's time to look at it. But it's all about winning. If you're not winning, then what are we doing, right? I mean, like, yeah, of course we're providing for our families and we're creating generational wealth, but you know, this is competition in all sports and all platforms. You know, competition is in us all. It's all in the human being. We all want to compete. For me, it's about competing and try to help and win. You know, yes, of course, I would love to be doing this and other, but I know that these young guys are next. So all I want to do is support these young guys, and if they need me to get on the floor, I can be on the floor. But if they don't, I still want to compete to help us win, because I want them to be able to create generational wealth. I want them to be able to have the accolades that I have. I want them all to be able to experience the championship high that I have had. You know what I mean? So that's where I feel like it's always just been in me, and then now I just understand it more. You know, the older you get, you understand things more clear. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.